How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is January 19th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus the Best Friends, which are Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Adam Cole and Britt Baker went over because Adam Cole pinned Orange Cassidy with the boom. Match 2, it was CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, CM Punk went over with the GTS. Where after the match, as CM Punk was celebrating his victory, MJF came in the ring and tried to attack CM Punk from behind, but CM Punk turned around and MJF was trying to beg for mercy to CM Punk, but CM Punk grabbed MJF by his scarf and was getting ready to punch him in the face, but MJF escaped and retreated on the stage, and CM Punk was still in the ring while MJF was on the stage, and CM Punk and MJF were staring each other down, and then CM Punk continued to celebrate while MJF was looking on and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was the House of Black, which are Malachi Black and Brody King, versus the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, the House of Black went over cause Brody King pinned Brian Pillman Jr. by the Power Slam. Where after the match, the House of Black, which are Malachi Black and Brody King, were still in the ring. Malachi Black got a microphone and cut a promo talking about the House of Black and how dominant they are and everything. And then Pac appeared on the Titantron, and Pac was talking about how Malachi Black damaged his vision, but now his vision was clear. And Pac was talking about how he's playing the card game and how he was going to make a martyr out of Malachi Black and how he was going to kick his ass and everything. And then after Pac got done talking and disappeared from the Titantron, Malachi Black and Brody King just looked on and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 4, it was Lance, and that was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Lance Archer versus Frankie Kazarian. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Lance Archer went over with the blackout. Well, before the match, after Frankie Kazarian came out, Lance Archer came out accompanied by Jake the Snake Roberts and Dan Lambert. Well, Jake the Snake Roberts ordered Dan Lambert to do the managerial services of Lance Archer for the match. So Jake the Snake Roberts went backstage while Dan Lambert done the managerial services for Lance Archer in the match. That was cool. That was before the match. And after the match, Tony Schiavone got in the ring and interviewed Lance Archer and Dan Lambert. And Tony Schiavone was talking about how, Tony Schiavone was saying, hey, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. What's going on in this relationship? And Dan Lambert took the microphone and said, Tony, you don't need to know what's going on in this relationship. So Tony Schiavone left, and Dan Lambert was saying, because you know what? Hangman Adam Page, he's not a real cowboy because he never had to grow up drinking out of a mud hole or a whale, and he didn't have to work on a farm because the only thing Hangman Adam Page ever did in his life, him and his buddies always stayed inside and played video games and drank Puree and watched Toy Story, and that's why Hangman Adam Page thinks he's a cowboy, because he was influenced by Toy Story and acts like he was working on a dairy farm. Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you what Lance Archer is going to do to Hangman Adam Page. Well, Lance Archer is going to beat the shit out of, before Dan Lambert got to say Lance Archer is going to beat the shit out of Hangman Adam Page, Lance Archer took the microphone and Lance Archer said, "You know what? I'm sick of this cowboy shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message to Hangman Adam Page and give him an example of why they call me the Murder Hawk Monster." Well, Lance Archer dropped the microphone, and Lance and Dan Lambert was still in the ring while Tony Schiavone was out of the ring. Lance Archer threw Frankie Kazarian out of the ring, and Lance Archer was getting ready to execute the chokeslam to Frankie Kazarian Lance Archer was getting ready to execute the chokeslam to Frankie Kazarian on a steel chair on the stage, but Hangman Page came out. Hangman Page came out, Hangman Page and Lance Archer stared each other down, and Lance Archer got the upper hand and beat the shit out of Hangman Page, but Hangman Page got back up and took his boot off and whacked Lance Archer in the head with it, and Hangman Page got the upper hand, and Lance Archer, after he got knocked in the head with Hangman Page's cowboy boot, Lance Archer fell in the ring, got knocked in the ring. Hangman Page was getting ready to execute the buckshot lariat to Lance Archer, but Lance Archer caught Hangman Page, and Lance Archer was getting ready to execute the chokeslam to Hangman Page, but Hangman Page got out of it, and then Hangman Page started beating the shit out of Lance Archer with punches and forearm shots to the face, and then Hangman Page clotheslined Lance Archer out of the ring. And, well, Hangman Page was looking on at Lance Archer. Well, Lance Archer was getting ready to come back into the ring, but Dan Lambert held Lance Archer back, and so Hangman Page and Lance Archer were staring each other down, while Dan Lambert held Lance Archer back and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Serena D and wait a minute. Match 5. That was match 4. That was match 4, by the way. Match 5. It was Serena Deeb versus Sky Blue. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Serena Deeb went over. Match 5. It was Serena Deeb versus Sky Blue. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Serena Deeb went over with the Serenity Lock. And match 6, which was the main event, it was Sting and Darby Allin versus The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Sting and Darby Allin went over because Darby Allin pinned Anthony Bowens with the coffin drop. Well, before the match, The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, done a music video. Well, Anthony Bowens was dressed up like Darby Allin, while a local competitor was dressed up like Sting, and they were making fun of Sting and Darby Allin doing stunts and everything, and then Max Caster attacked the local competitor from behind, and then Max Caster was mocking Sting and everything in that video. And that was cool with that. But after that, the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, came out, and Max Caster done a rap on Sting and Darby Allin, and then Anthony Bowens said his signature line, Washington, D.C., the Acclaimed have arrived. And after that, Sting and Darby Allin came out, and the Acclaimed attacked Sting and Darby Allin before the match, and beat the shit out of them, and then Anthony Bowens took a steel chair and wrapped it around Darby Allin's neck and slammed him into the post. Well, Darby Allin had to be helped backstage, and so for the time being, it was a handicap match of Sting versus the Acclaimed, and then later on, Darby Allin came out, and the match was still a tag team match. Well, before the match, that was when Darby Allin got attacked and had to be helped backstage. But the majority of that match, that was cool, but the majority of that match, it was a handicap match of Sting versus the Acclaimed, but later on, Darby Allin came out to even the odds, and it was a tag team match. That was cool. Now, besides the matches, Jon Moxley came out and cut a promo talking about how everyone has scars, Jon Moxley came out and cut a promo talking about how everyone has scars, including himself, and talked about the ways of handling scars is getting back up and fighting every day. And Jon Moxley was talking about how he had a dream that a demon was saying to him that he was worthless and he was a piece of shit and he was a nobody and couldn't beat the hell out of anybody and everything. And then Jon Moxley was talking about how he told that demon to take it and shove it up his ass. And Jon Moxley was talking about how he's been through a lot of hell and was saying how if anyone in AEW can put him through hell and take him out for good, then they have another thing coming, because he don't give in to the demon. He was saying, I don't give in to the demons. I beat the ever living shit out of them and everything, which that was cool. MJF along with Wardlow cut a promo, and MJF was talking about how CM Punk got a fluke victory over Wardlow when Wardlow kicked CM Punk's ass, and CM Punk grabbed Wardlow by his hair and by his tights and rolled him up like the coward he is. And then MJF was, MJF said to Wardlow, big man, since this is your birthday, I got a gift for you. I do apologize for yelling at you last week. I lost my cool. Now, big man, you have been a great employee and a great friend of mine for 2.5 years. But last week, you also put your hands on me, and that's not okay. But, so, I gotta take so you have to suffer the consequences, and I have to dock your pay. So, I tell you what, if you can rack up wins, and if you qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match, and win me the AEW TNT title, I will start giving you your money back. I'll start paying you again. Now, besides that, tonight, the best accountability buddy, Sean Spears, and my best friend and my accountability my best friend and my accountability buddy, Sean Spears, is going to give PG Punk his first L. And Sean Spears will do what Wardlow failed to do, and Sean Spears is going to get the job done, and I'm going to be out there calling all the action for it, because I'm better than you, and you know it, and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. Well, Alex Marvez brought up that Eddie Kingston suffered an injury, and that the Inner Circle will be going up against Daniel Garcia in 2.0 next week at Beach Break. Well, Chris Jericho was saying, you know what? I don't give a shit about Eddie Kingston. He can GTFO and everything. And then Ortiz was saying, now Chris, I know you don't like Eddie Kingston, but we do, because he's our friend. And I don't appreciate you talking shit about him. So keep his name out of your mouth. And Santana was saying, you know, Chris, Eddie Kingston may have brought up a great point. You probably are the reason why Ortiz and I are not the AEW Tag Team Champions, because we've had your back since day one of AEW. But how many times have you had our back? And Chris Jericho said, every day. Well, Santana was saying, you know, Chris, we've been through a lot of wars together. We've been through the Elite. We've been through the Pinnacle. We've been through the American Top Team. But how many times have you had our backs? None. Because we've had your back, you've not had ours. So next week, in our trios match against Daniel Garcia in 2.0, Ortiz and I, we're going to prove that we don't need you anymore. And everything. And then Santana and Ortiz left, and then Chris Jericho was going off and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Adam Cole, and Alex Marvez brought up that about Adam Cole and Britt Baker winning against the Best Friends, which are Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander, in the mixed tag team match and everything. And then Alex Marvez also brought up Britt Baker falling through the table and everything. Well, Adam Cole told Alex Marvez to get out, so Alex Marvez left, and then Adam Cole had the microphone and was saying, Orange Cassidy, you're a thorn in my side. I have beaten you in singles competition. I've beaten you in tag team competition. What more do I have to do to get away from you? Well, guess what? Next week at Beach Break, Tony Khan, if you can make this official, next week, Orange Cassidy at Beach Break, I want you in an anything goes, no disqualification, lights out match. And as that lights out match goes on, I'm going to end you once and for all, and I'm going to get you, and you're no longer going to be a thorn in my side and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between CM Punk versus Sean Spears. That was cool. Billy Gunn was out in the parking lot, and Christian Cage came along, and Billy Gunn was saying, Christian Cage. Billy Gunn said, Christian Cage, just the man I want to see. You know, I sat here and waited for you, and you're late. It's like, but that's nothing new with you because you're always late, and you're always late, and you think you can do whatever you want to do. Christian Cage said, "It's good to see you again, Gunn." And Billy Gunn said, "Christian, I know your boys, the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I know your boys, the Jurassic Express, are now the AEW Tag Team Champions. Well, I'm here to tell you, my boys, Austin and Colton Gunn, my sons, are in the top 5 rankings. So how about you give my boys a shot at the AEW Tag Team titles?" Christian Cage was saying, "You know, Gunn, your boys have talent. I'll give them that. Because they got they have your genes. But if you think just coming here and demanding an AEW Tag Team title match with the Jurassic Express is going to cut it, no, it's not. So make a statement and we'll talk." Christian Cage was getting ready to leave, but Billy Gunn grabbed Christian Cage by the arm and said, "Don't you walk away from me." And Christian Cage was getting ready to fight Billy Gunn, but Austin and Colton Gunn attacked Christian Cage from behind. Billy Gunn slammed Christian Cage into the garage door, and then Austin and Colton Gunn done a double slam to Christian Cage on the garage door, and then Austin Gunn told Christian Cage, "Statement made." And then the Gunn Club, which are Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn, left while Christian Cage was laid out on the ground and everything. That was cool. Cody Rhodes came out and cut a promo and brought a ladder into the ring, and Cody Rhodes was talking about how he's been out for 2 weeks because of COVID, and was talking about how within his 2-week absence, things have changed. Not only has Sammy Guevara became the interim AEW TNT champion, but the Young Bucks have tried to challenge Red Dragon and everything, and talked about how the Young Bucks, why he didn't want the Young Bucks going up against developmental talent and everything, and then talked about his real life friend Ricky Starks, talking about how he's now being targeted by Jay Lethal and everything, and then talked about that he talked about Sammy Guevara, and talked about how Sammy Guevara is the interim AEW TNT champion and everything, and then Cody Rhodes was talking about how the reason why he won't turn heel is because the crowd's been behind him since day one, and then Cody Rhodes was talking about the pipe bomb that CM Punk did back in WWE in 2011, making points and everything about it, and talked about how CM Punk wanted to work New Japan Pro Wrestling, wanted to work Ring of Honor Wrestling, and wanted to face the Young Bucks. But Cody Rhodes was also saying that CM Punk didn't get to do those things, but he ended up here in All Elite Wrestling. And then Cody Rhodes was saying, but I got to work New Japan Pro Wrestling. I got to work Ring of Honor Wrestling. I've got to work with the Young Bucks. And y'all want to talk about this forbidden door? Well, I'm the one that built this forbidden door and everything. And then Cody Rhodes was talking about how he wanted to challenge Sammy Guevara for the AEW TNT title to end it once and for all, and to actually have one champion next week at Beach Break in a ladder match and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Jade Cargill along with Mark Sterling and Anna Jay along with John Silver, and Tony Schiavone brought up to Anna Jay saying, Tony Schiavone brought up about Jade Cargill being the TBS Women's Champion, and talked about how Anna Jay has been on an impressive winning streak as of late and everything. And then Tony Schiavone was asking Anna Jay, "Are you ready for this?" Mark Sterling was saying, well, Tony Schiavone was asking Anna Jay, "Are you ready for this? Do you have what it takes?" Well, that's what Tony Schiavone was asking Anna Jay, but Mark Sterling interrupted and said probably not, because Jade Cargill is the best damn woman wrestler on the AEW roster, and that's why she's a TBS Women's Champion. And she'll demolish Jade Cargill will demolish Anna Jay or anybody that comes in her way. And then John Silver was saying, "Shut up, Mark Sterling, because Anna Jay has 24-inch pythons, and Anna Jay is the toughest woman on this AEW roster, and she will take out Jade Cargill and become the TBS Women's Champion, because Anna Hungy." And then Anna Jay was saying, "Jade Cargill, I do have what it takes to kick your ass and take the TBS Women's Championship away from you, because I've been through every obstacle of the way, and I have wrapped barbed wire around my arm to choke somebody out and to win. And I'll do anything it takes to win. So I'm ready to kick your ass and take the TBS Women's title from you." Then Jade Cargill was saying, "Well, good to know, Anna Jay, because on Rampage, I'm going to destroy you, and I'm going to remain TBS Women's Champion, because TBS is that bitch show," and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the feud between Hangman Page versus Lance Archer for the AEW title. That was cool. Brandon Cutler was getting ready to film a promo for the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, but Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, came along, and Brandon Cutler was saying, "Guys, this is for the Young Bucks, not you all." Then Rocky Romero said, cut the crap, Brandon." And Trent Beretta was saying, "Brandon, the Young Bucks, they bully you all the time. So why don't you do a video for us? Would you mind doing it?" Brandon Cutler said, "Well, I guess." And then Rocky Romero was talking about how the Elite have been taking out the best friends and they're getting sick and tired of it. And then Rocky Romero was talking about was asking Trent Beretta, saying, "Trent, do you remember when we beat the Young Bucks in New Japan Pro Wrestling?" Trent Beretta said, "Yes, that was awesome." And then Rocky Romero was saying, So how about it, young bucks? Since we already kicked your ass in New Japan Pro Wrestling, how about we kick your ass here in AEW this Friday night on AEW Rampage? This Friday night on Rampage. And then Trent Beretta was saying, that sounds like a plan, Rocky. I'm all for it. Because, just like you said, we already kicked the Young Bucks' ass in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so we'll do it again here in AEW this Friday on Rampage. And then Rocky Romero was saying, so how about it, Young Bucks? Roppongi Vice versus the Young Bucks on Rampage Friday night. And then Trent Beretta was saying to Brandon Cutler, Brandon, you done a great job. Brandon Cutler said, thanks. And then Rocky Romero said, now turn the camera. Now, and then Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta both, Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero both were telling Brandon Cutler to turn off the camera and everything, which that was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Alex Marvez interviewed Matt Sydal, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty, and Alex Marvez brought up to Dante Martin saying, Dante, you've gotten your fair victory against Powerhouse Hobbs, but not only that, but you saved Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty from Team Taz. And then Dante Martin was saying, yes, I did, Alex, because since my brother Darius Martin has been out, Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty, they've become really good friends of mine. And yes, I'm going to have their back. And we'll do anything it takes to take out Team Taz and everything. And then Lee Moriarty was saying, you know, Dante, until your brother Darius Martin comes back, Matt Sydal and I, since you had our back, we have your back. And then Dante Martin gave a fist bump to Lee Moriarty, then gave a fist bump to Matt Sydal, and they all three done a triple fist bump. Then Alex Marvez said, now let's take it over to Team Taz. Team Taz, Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, cut a promo, and Ricky Starks was saying, oh my God, Dante, you have so many brothers. You have Darius Martin, you have Leo Rush, you have Matt Sydal, you have Lee Moriarty, and now you have Jay Lethal. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not friends, because you have no friends. You're going to find out that you're alone and everything. And then Powerhouse Hobbs was saying, Dante, just like Ricky Starks said, you don't have no friends, and you're going to find that out that you're all alone in this world. And but for us in Team Taz, we build assassins and everything. That was cool. Yeah, sorry. Tony Schiavone interviewed Tony Schiavone interviewed Chris Statlander and Red Velvet, and Tony Schiavone asked Chris Statlander. Tony Schiavone was talking about how Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy had a great outing in their match against Adam Cole and Britt Baker, and Tony Tony Schiavone was asking Chris Statlander how she was feeling and everything. And before Chris Statlander got the chance to talk, Layla Hirsch came along, and Layla Hirsch was saying, "Bravo, Chris. You were on your A game tonight in that mixed tag team match, but why couldn't you have that same mentality in our match on Rampage?" And then Layla Hirsch was talking shit towards Chris Statlander and everything, and then Red Velvet got in the middle of it and said, "Layla, things happen. You know, things don't always go." Well, Red Velvet was saying, "Layla, things happen. And things don't always go as planned. And all this is just a miscommunication and everything." And then Red Velvet turned her back, and as Red Velvet turned her back, Layla Hirsch attacked Red Velvet from behind, laying her out, and then Chris Statlander was saying, "Layla, what's your problem?" Well, Chris Statlander turned her back, and then Layla Hirsch attacked Chris Statlander from behind, knocking her down, and then Layla Hirsch executed the cross arm breaker to Chris Statlander, and then all the referees had to come and break it up and everything, which that was cool. Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, along with Dan Lambert, cut a promo, and Dan Lambert was talking about how Jon Moxley has made his return to AEW and how the locker room is ecstatic about it, and then Dan Lambert was talking shit about Jon Moxley and everything, and then Ethan Page was saying, you know what's ecstatic? Is the fact, yes, Jon Moxley is back, but it's nothing special. So, and then Ethan Page was saying, so with that being said, I may be a guy who wears fashionable clothes and wears expensive shades, but when I get in that ring, I kick ass. And Jon Moxley, since you've been gone, I've racked up wins. I've gotten high in the rankings. And so with that being said, I want to fight you. I want to fight you this Friday on Rampage. So how about it, Mox? You talk about how nobody's going to put you through hell and nobody's going to take you to hell and everything anymore. Well, I'm going to take you to hell this Friday on Rampage and everything. And then Scorpio Sky snapped his fingers, Scorpio Sky snapped his fingers, and then and the promo ended and everything. That was cool. AEW aired AEW aired a clip of the match between the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which that was cool. And AEW aired a video package of Hook and his dominance in AEW and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, wait, not only all that, another thing I forgot, Sammy Guevara done his flashcard segment and was saying, next Wednesday at Beach Break, Cody Rhodes, we're going to be in a ladder match. 2 titles, 1 winner. And next week, you're not going to get the Spanish God. You're not going to get the Vlog Star. You're going to get a totally different man. And I may be having a great time at the beach, but next week at beach break, I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to remain, and I'm going to be the AEW TNT champion once and for all, and this interim shit will be no more. So see you next week, Cody, and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And MJF done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. MJF done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Paul Turner refereed the match between Adam Cole and Britt. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Paul Turner refereed the match between Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus the Best Friends. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the House of Black versus the Varsity Blondes. That was Bryce Remsburg, by the way. Rick Knox refereed the match between Lance Archer versus Frankie Kazarian. Paul Turner refereed the match between Serena Deeb versus Sky Blue. And Bryce Remsburg, that was Paul Turner, by the way. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Sting and Darby Allin versus The Acclaimed. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, I did forget one thing. Before I go any further, I did forget one thing. The Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Butcher, The Blade, and The Bunny, along with Andrade, well, wait a minute. Wait, I did forget one thing. Tony Schiavone interviewed the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Butcher, The Blade, and The Bunny, along with Andrade El Idolo and Jose. And Tony Schiavone brought up about Matt Hardy and Andrade El Idolo's meeting and everything. And then Matt Hardy was saying, you know, Tony, last week Andrade El Idolo and I, we had a big meeting, yes. And we come up with a plan. Andrade El Idolo is now the president of the Hardy Family Office. And with that being said, the Hardy Family Office is getting a name change. It's now going to be the AHFO, which stands for the Andrade Hardy Family Office. Now, Andrade El Idolo will be having 51% of the AHFO, while I will be having 49% of the AHFO. And then Matt Hardy was saying, with this new business venture that we're doing, we're going to continue to recruit more talent in our team. then Andrade El Idolo was saying, you know, I'm really excited for this venture because with me and with Matt Hardy, we're going to be unstoppable and we're going to make lots of money. Now, Matt, I do have something for you. Matt Hardy said, what's that, Andrade? Andrade El Idolo said, there's one person I want in this group. Matt Hardy said, who's that? And Andrade El Idolo said, this little kid. Matt Hardy said, I think I know who you're talking about. Then Tony Schiavone was saying, that's Darby Allin. And then Matt Hardy and Andrade El Idolo were having a moment together and were saying and everything as well. That was cool. Now, already went over the commentary team and already went over the referees and went over the matches and the promos and segments and done the one that I forgot to add. But now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event Beach Break next week. So far that's been announced, it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the AEW. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite special event, Beach Break next week, that's been announced so far. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy in a lights out match. The Inner Circle, which are the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Beach Break, next week. That's been announced so far. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy in a lights out match. The Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz versus Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. Those are the matches that have been announced. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite special event, Beach Break, next week looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. And, excuse me. And the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night, it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the TBS Women's title. Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page. The Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. And Hook. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night, that's been announced, it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the TBS Women's title. Jon Moxley versus... Wait a minute. The match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night, it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the TBS Women's title. Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page. The Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. And Hook versus Serpentico. those are the matches that have been announced so far for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is January 19th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.